Hi guys, this is Gene Jensen with BassResource.com. A guy on the forums by the name of Cody0707 on Bass Resource Forums asked a question today that sparked an idea for a video. And so I'm sitting here in my chair. It's going to be it's a quick and easy video, but I think it'll help out a lot of people, especially a lot of my subscribers on YouTube and a lot of the guys on Bass Resource. This question is about pond fishing, about bank fishing, things like that. And I'm going to go ahead and read the question, and I'm going to give you some background. If you were shore fishing and had to carry only a small tackle box on a lake you have never fished, what would you bring? Let's assume you were going to be fishing a lake that is an average of 3 feet deep, with some spots that are 7 feet deep, so it's a real shallow lake. The water is dark in most places, but it clears up in some spots. The water is in the 70s, and it is post-spawn. So I'm assuming it's a stained water lake. And he's talking about fishing this time of the year, June. You have only 3 clear Plano boxes to fill up. What are you going to bring? Well, let me tell you my history behind bank fishing. I started fishing, seriously, I started bass fishing when I was about 16 years old, when I was old enough to drive and go do it myself. My dad was a trout fisherman. He didn't like to bass fish. So about 16 years old, there was a public fishing area right down the street from my house. It had 22 ponds. Great lake filled with good bass, and I spent the majority of my teenage years walking the banks of those 22 lakes, learned them intimately, and ultimately started writing fishing reports for this public fishing area. But anyway, so I have quite a bit of experience in packing my stuff in to fish. Several of these lakes were a quarter of a mile off the road. You had to walk in. There was no vehicle access. They were some of my favorite lakes because you didn't have to worry about cars pulling up, things like that. But anyway, so I'm going to go through what I would pack in these 3 Plano boxes. First of all, 3 Plano boxes for me is a little excessive for a bank fishing trip, just because I like to simplify things and make them to where I can carry them light. So let's start off with rods. I would carry 2 or 3 rods. I would carry, first of all, a spinning rod. This is a Dobbins. But I would carry a medium action spinning rod, something I could throw a shaky head or a light jig on, something, or a light worm on, or even a weightless trick worm. And then I would carry a medium action, medium extra fast rod. This is a 7-foot medium extra fast. This is a Ducket. I'm not even going to talk about the model number because it's too long. But anyway, this is a medium action 7-foot rod. It's their casting rod. And then maybe another one would be if I felt like there were big fish in the lake, or I felt like there was a lot of thick cover. If I knew there was a lot of thick cover, I would carry a medium heavy rod. All of them would have either 8, 12, or 15 pound test line, and that would be my general setup for the rods. For the baits, well, like I said, this is a lake. You got to assume this is a lake I've never been to. It's stained water, sometimes clear. So I'm going to carry the colors of lures that I would fish in that color water. But more importantly, and most importantly, I'm going to carry the lures that I have the most confidence in. And I'm going to downsize everything, just because I want to go out and catch fish and see what's in the lake. I don't want to haul all my stuff in there and spend the time to go back in there and not catch any fish. So I'm going to carry something that's going to catch even the smallest bass. So let's start off with worms. The worms I would haul with me is some finesse worms, some trick worms. I didn't grab a trick worm bag for some reason. One of my favorite if you need a little bit of action, a little bit of vibration, is a rage tail thumper worm. This is the 7-inch. And then some type of a creature bait, a brush hog, a space monkey, things like that. But all of them are small. No big worms, no big swim baits or anything like that. Just excessive weight. Now, when you've been fishing, bank fishing for a while, and you all of a sudden you realize you're carrying a 45-pound backpack full of lures and you want to lighten them up, get rid of some soft plastics. This is the heaviest thing in your box. If you downsize your soft plastics, your box will become quite a bit lighter. Now, the colors of the soft plastics I would go with for that color of water would be a green pumpkin, which is a great all-around color for just about any color water. A June bug, just in case it's a little too muddy, and a red bug, just because I love a red bug during June, July, August. Those are the only 3 colors that I would carry. Then when on my second trip, when I've kind of figured out the lake, I may add a few things. Okay. Then I would carry an assortment of terminal tackle to go with those worms. Well, let's start out with hooks. I'm going to bring 5 or 6 3/0 worm hooks, be they wide gap or regular offset worm hooks. I'm going to bring them in 3/0 and 2/0. I'm not going to go up higher because I'm not fishing big plastics. I may bring a few trailer hooks along because I'm going to have a couple of spinner baits with me. Other than that, that's all I'm going to do with hooks. Just something I can do. That's something I can rig, a Texas rig, stuff like that on terminal tackle. Other terminal tackle I'm going to bring is going to be a 1/4 ounce bullet weight, a jig head of some sort, shaky head, stand up head, spot remover. I have my favorites. Everybody else has got their favorites. Now, for other lures, I might throw in a low profile spinner bait or two. I'd throw in one that's for clearer water. Got a chrome blade, something for a little bit muddier water like a chartreuse or a chartreuse and white, a little bit larger blade, gold, and then of course a buzz bait. And all of these would have trailer hooks on them. And that about covers what I would carry in a box for the first trip on this lake. It's not hard to come up against a small lake and run the whole bank all the way around and try to find sticks and trees and stumps and trunks and trunks of trees laying in the water. And it's a lot of fun. Boy, I enjoy going to a new lake. I enjoy going in and being successful at a new place, a place I've never seen before. But it's all about breaking down the lake. What's the water color? What's the water temperature? What are the bass doing? And then what kind of a mood they're in. The reason I have worms and the reason I have spinner baits is because sometimes the bass are in a chasing mood and sometimes they're not. So, and when they're not, I want to be bouncing stuff off the bottom. I want to be, dragging things. I want to be throwing stuff into timber and stuff like that and see what happens. And that's it in a nutshell. That's my answer for that question. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I always say, visit bassresource.com for the answer to all your questions about bass fishing. You'll enjoy our forums. We have a bunch of great guys on there that answer some great questions. It's really fun to be involved with a forum that's family friendly and we don't bash anybody or things like that. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to keep putting these videos out, so have fun.